I even give you literally 10 seconds to start the podcast, and you still don't take your opportunity.
It's because I was waiting for you to...
And this is why you're never first. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, What's Your Favorite Scary Story? My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Marlene.
And welcome back.
Welcome. Tonight we're going to have a really good show.
I hope so.
I think. I don't know. I hope.
God, thanks for the confidence. Okay, you know what? Just for that, we're starting off right now with your segment of your not so fun fact. Putting you on the spot, it better be good.
Not so fun facts with marbles. Alright, so since I was forced to
do your job.
to do my job. So I struggled this week finding my not so fun fact. I scoured the interwebs, went through strange avenues of the onlines, and I figured this one would be good because I feel like I got a little inspired by this past weekend when we went to Charlotte's
her play.
Yeah, because I had never seen Beauty and the Beast. Alyssa's, for some context, Alyssa's niece, Charlotte, who did very wonderful, actually, by the way, as a fork in the Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, her main role was a townsperson where her personality truly shined.
But she was like really adorable as a little fork.
Then she came out as a fork all of a sudden for the dishes scene. The Be Our Guest song.
But yeah, it was awesome. So I researched. I don't even know how this came about. It just reminded me that we saw Beauty and the Beast this weekend, and so I wanted to. I don't even know how to. So I found this really interesting fact about this guy named John Radcliffe. We don't know him by his name, but we know him as a awful purple suited guy from Pocahontas with his little pug.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that my mind first thing went to Grimace. That was the only purple suited thing I could think of. I did not.
Oh, Grimace!
I was
like,
where are we going with this?
So
I didn't think we'd get to Pocahontas.
Yeah, so Pocahontas, right? The little short.
Like the sidekick thing.
And no, he's the governor. He's like the captain.
Okay. I haven't seen Pocahontas in a long time.
Yeah, so he's the captain. In the story, he's a captain. He was a captain to. Are you hot?
Yeah, sorry. Okay. I'm turning the temperature down.
Okay.
I know the AC's been on for like a little bit now, and I'm still kind of sweating.
Oh,
so.
That's weird. I feel like a nice little breeze here.
Well, I'm in the corner over here behind the AC, so that might have something to do with it.
Maybe. So he was a captain to the ship, the Discovery. Sorry, I'm like fuck. Oh, that's another thing. I'm trying not to cuss anymore.
You said that last time.
Yeah, I know. I'm really trying my best not to cuss.
This was a quiet one, at least.
So it doesn't count, okay?
Exactly.
So he was a captain to the ship Discovery, which was one of the 3 ships that was going kind of like back and forth from England to the colonies back in the 1600s or 15-somethings, whatever it is. And so, yeah, he actually existed, and so did John Smith. I'm pretty sure that's like...
He definitely existed.
Yeah. Well, we hate this guy more than John Smith.
Oh, wow.
Like John
That's
Smith,
saying something.
John Smith had to listen to John Radcliffe, so John Smith was assigned to basically make trades with the Native Americans, while John Radcliffe was just kind of behind the scenes. Okay. Which eventually, the Native Americans found out that this guy John Radcliffe was behind a lot of this, and he was eventually skinned alive by the Native American women.
Oh.
And
okay.
he was like kind of tricked into like coming over for a trade and maybe a dinner or something like that. And it was all a scheme to trap him. And
Nice.
the women skinned him, and they tied him to like a stake and were burning him while skinning him and throwing his skin into the fire while he was still alive. Like,
oh wow,
he was
like, keep
watching
it
his
going?
own. Yeah, he was watching his own like downfall essentially. And that was like that's the weird fact of the week.
I mean, out of context, that is not fun at all. But with context, neutral / fun fact tonight, baby.
Yeah, fun fact.
Honestly.
That's why I was like, I've never heard of this before.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so I thought it was fitting because of
Smart,
our weekend.
like, girl bosses, yo.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever, or if we ever get to talk about this point in time, I don't know if there's a scary story behind this, but I just a quick little fact. I also found out that during this time, like in the Virginia colonies, and right before this guy died in 1906, there was like a famine, a point where a bunch of people started dying. So it was like 500 people came from England.
In 1906?
No, in 1609.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I was like, did we jump a few hundred?
No, 1609.
Okay,
So he passed. He was killed in 1609.
Okay.
But there was a point where 500 English people came to the Americas, whatever, the colonies.
Right.
And they suffered this like really awful time where there was just no food for them at all. So out of the 500 people that were starving because there was no food left during the winter, only 61 of them made it out alive by the spring.
Oh my god, out of 500?
Yeah, so
Damn.
a lot of these people were like, well, F this, we're gonna leave, And there was an excavation team who brought out like bones and like old things, I guess, that were buried, artifacts from that time that were unearthed. And they found out that there was also, during this famine, there was also cannibalism. And an account of a man, a husband, who murdered could potentially be his 14-year-old wife.
Oh,
and
God.
her bones and her skull were found in a hole where bones of dogs and horses were in, but also like the ligaments of her skull that separates her brain and the skull, like to keep it safe, kind of like that little pocket that keeps your brain safe. Like, they found her bones like butchered and like prepped essentially to like as how they
to be eaten.
Yeah, to be eaten. Jeez. So that's my not so fun fact added.
That's like super not fun, like no question about it, just a very unfun.
Yeah, it's
wow. That's like worse
crazy.
than the Donner Party in the mountains.
The what?
Well, that's like a whole nother thing.
Okay.
But it's like, I forget who they were, but they were like, they got stranded up in like some dangerous mountains and had to like resort to cannibalism to survive.
Oh, the people in the mountains in the snow. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a much worse, horrible, much worse case.
Yeah, well, this is during the starving time in December of 1609, and it was really well, I don't know if it was December. It seems like it was just like in that time period between 1607 and 1609.
So there was like a couple Decembers. So
yeah, I guess so. But I don't really know the full story or how the whole thing goes, but I thought that was an interesting.
Just some extra depressing content for the evening. All right. We haven't even like really started the episode yet. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Happy Monday. Jeez. So we are taking things back to like our regular type content tonight. Before we get into it, anything you want to touch on? Bring up before we start?
Let's see.
Any updates?
Well,
still waiting for a freaking couch.
Still waiting for a couch.
For like another couple weeks. That's depressing. Not so fun fact.
Not so fun fact.
We've been here for like a month and a half and without a couch.
Yeah, I don't like to think about it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just was looking at our living room today and I'm like, there's going to be a couch in here someday.
Yeah, someday.
Not
eventually.
Not a day soon.
Well, hopefully before September. So
God,
I can spend my, what is it, Labor Day weekend on a couch?
Our Labor Day weekend. I get Labor Day off.
Yes, yay.
A high
Congratulations. Five. Actually, round of applause for us.
We can't go an episode without a round of applause.
No, we have to. We've actually been slacking the last couple of them.
We need to clap every episode for something.
I guess I would like to share a quote that, at work we share off weeks of like when you have to put a quote on the wall and stuff.
Right.
And I feel like this is very fitting for a lot of situations. And, yeah, let's just be nice to each other. So here's my favorite quote from one of my favorite authors, Beings, Souls, I guess, in his account, because he's very spiritual, by Sir David R. Hawkins. He says, "Through compassion arises the desire to understand rather than condemn."
It's very telling.
Yes, so let's just be nice to each other, and
good idea.
It doesn't take a lot to be a kind person,
and that could make someone's day better, and then in turn make your day better because you just have brought positivity into your life that day, and I don't think that's ever a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I like nice people.
Same.
And I think Alyssa's turning me into a person that I just, what's the point? Just let's be nice to each other and stop causing drama.
You can be a hater behind closed doors if that's what gets you through the day, but being a hater actively towards the thing / person you hate, I don't think it's gonna help anything.
It's not gonna help anything, and what's the point, bro?
There isn't.
There's no point. You're just gonna give yourself an aneurysm or something.
Which Marlene has reminded me that anyone can have an aneurysm, so there adds to my daily fears of dying randomly.
And then here's where you insert the not so fun facts with marbles. Not so fun facts with marbles. But yeah, let's just be kind. If you're gonna hate behind closed doors. Don't spread your hate.
I'm her vent receiver. She just vents to me about anything and everything, and I'm here to listen because it's not about me.
And it's not about her. She's not gonna go run off and tell other people, because why would she? Because what does that do?
Anything you're venting to me about, honestly, I'm not even relatively related to. That seems like a double saying of the same thing, but yeah, I wouldn't have anyone to even tell about it that would care. So.
Yeah, but you're also...
What?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, vent to your person that'll listen, and that's how you'll get it out, and you'll feel better, and nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, and if your intentions are to spread it because you know what, I don't even want to get deeper into it.
Because you will get in deep.
I will, but just don't do it. Just write it down and burn it. Excuse me, I just burped. Just write it down, burn it.
Safely.
Don't spread it.
No arson.
You just spread your mayonnaise. That's the only thing you should be spreading.
On your elote.
On your elote.
We should have that tonight.
We will.
Okay.
But yeah, don't be a hater.
Love, respect, elotes, kindness. That's all, man. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. We appreciate kind words always on this podcast. All right, so this week's topic was suggested by Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you.
We'll take all the anonymous suggestions.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why you don't have to be afraid or nervous, if you send in anything or not. Even if you are, just do it. If you want to be anonymous or not, we don't care. We want to see what you want to hear.
Yeah, but
everything
just
and
remember
everything and
that
everything.
if you stay anonymous, you're just gatekeeping us. And as much as I love gatekeeping things and being like the cool kid in town, like, wow, I'm listening to like the most independent, most coolest indie podcast in the world right now, sharing is caring. So, yeah, but if you prefer to stay anonymous,
I get it, bro.
I get it too. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
So thank you, Anonymous. Without Anonymous and or people who want to divulge their identity, without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. So
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
All right. Bye. Well, no, we're getting started right now. We're just getting into things.
Shit.
We've been talking about nothing for like 15 minutes.
No, I shared my fun,
You're right.
not so fun fact.
You're right.
I told people to be nice to each other. I told people not to spread hate. I told people to learn how to be compassionate instead of condemning others.
And then we talked about burning someone at the stake and cannibalism.
That's part of my not so fun facts.
You're right. Okay. So I'm going to get into the story now. So I'm just going to get into it. So our story begins in 1735 on a stormy night in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. There was a Quaker woman who lived here. What?
Just a Quaker oatmeal guy.
Oh my God. This is how the woman was described. Okay. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm imagining her with her maid's dress. You know, not a maid's dress, but you know what I mean, like one of those
old-timey
Sarah Good Winchester
Salem Witch
Trials.
So it's like less, it's
old-timey.
Like a few decades after that, so yeah, it's about the right time period. Okay. So there was a Quaker woman who lived here in the Pine Barrens known as Mother Leeds. On this stormy night, she was in her home giving birth to her 13th child.
Oh my God. Sounds like my grandma.
So apparently, she was so distraught about the fact that she was having another dang child that she cried out, "Let it be the devil."
Oh my gosh.
And when the child arrived, it was a baby devil.
What?
The creature let out a screech, unfolded its wings, oh my God, and flew out the window into a nearby swamp. You really made the creepy part of my story just like a little bit less serious. Yeah, so this woman had a baby and it spread out its wings and it flew out the window.
What?
Yeah. And thus was born the Jersey Devil.
Oh my God.
You really had no idea?
No, I had no idea.
I thought you might know when I said like the Pine Barrens of New Jersey.
Then actually, as a matter of fact, I am so glad that I added my sound effect.
It's pretty appropriate.
Okay. So for some reason, I thought this was going to be like a ghostly story.
Well, so
that's so funny. What the heck?
The Jersey Devil is like an urban legend cryptid type creature.
Okay.
And it is known to inhabit the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. It is described as a kangaroo-like creature with the face of a horse, the head of a dog, bat-like wings, horns, and a tail.
What?
Like I said, it prowls through the Pine Barrens, which is like woods with marshes and swampy areas. And it will even sometimes emerge in the nearby towns.
The Jersey Devil?
The creature.
Okay.
The cryptid.
The creep turd.
The creepy turd. It is said that it has been seen in at least 50 nearby towns, which I feel like that's all the towns in New Jersey.
Yeah, probably.
That's a super small state. Sometimes it just makes its presence known, and other times there is some terrorizing that supposedly goes on. It was allegedly responsible for raiding chicken coops and farms, destroying crops, and killing animals. It
sounds like aliens.
It could be. But it's been like...
Alyssa just stared at me with the most blank stare.
My brain just stopped for a second. I'm sorry.
She just looked over and
I tried to think about it, but it just didn't happen.
It wasn't functioning. Something was
short-wired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it destroyed crops, It was killing animals. It stopped cows from giving milk. It caused droughts and boiled up streams. And it even blew the tops off of trees.
The tops?
Like, there's like
the
a tree
part?
trunk and then,
the pointy part? Like...
Yeah,
Like if it was a pine, the top part of the pine?
Yeah.
So it was just like a...
It was just like stumped.
Aww.
Poor little piney. It is the Pine Barren, so it probably is pine trees.
So he would like probably be flying super fast that his wings would cut off the tops of the trees.
Maybe, right.
Wow.
Impressive.
Wow.
We gotta make up for the applause we've left out of other episodes. So some believed it appeared every 7 weeks. Some said that it foreshadowed disaster and war.
Oh, that's just like the other...
Wait, it's coming up later. I promise.
Okay.
So like I said, the Jersey Devil is a cryptid, but how do the stories of cryptids get out there? So people must have like seen this creature, right? Like it's not just like, oh well, it could be aliens. They're like, no, we've seen him. It's gotta be the Jersey Devil doing this stuff. So a lot of these people were actually prominent citizens and government officials. I love the examples they gave. So this included businessmen, postal officials, and policemen.
Wait, that would see this?
Yeah, a lot of people saw the creature, but they did as well. And they had either seen the creature, heard it, or saw its tracks left in the snow, or even experienced all three things.
My question is how do you get businessmen? Like these businessmen saw him? Like what were these businessmen out doing?
They I don't know, just living their life.
Wait, but around what time of day does he come out?
It wasn't like noted, but probably at night, but like
so what are these businessmen doing?
Oh my god.
You know?
Blaming the victim.
They're like walking out of the strip clubs and
in 1800.
Hey, you don't know, you know? Maybe there were strip clubs. I guess there were
brothels.
Yeah, brothels, strip clubs. They were like they were like pulling up their trousers while they were walking.
So they were distracted. So like, who knows what they really saw?
Right, and drunk probably. With booze from the time. Mm-hmm. That was probably
straight up pure 100% proof alcohol. So at this point, the Jersey Devil was definitely evolving from just a local folktale to something a bit more legit because, all these businessmen saw it. So a few notable people, more notable than businessmen, who are said to have seen the creature begin with Stephen Decatur, an American naval hero. I guess he was at a firing range.
Like a navel, like a belly button?
Yes. Obviously, that's what I mean. So I guess he was at a firing range inspecting his cannonballs. Like, making sure they're good to go? I don't know.
I think that's cap. I think that's an excuse. What was he doing, though?
Well,
what
it was wartime. Really he was making sure they were good. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. If it was a wartime.
So he was at a firing range when he saw a flying creature flapping its wings. So, what?
Nothing.
What now? God. So he fired one of his cannonballs at the creature, and he did successfully hit his target. But it had no effect on the creature, and it just flew away. After being hit by a cannonball, yeah.
Damn.
Right? It looks like he needs to do some more inspecting.
Maybe it could have appeared like it hit him. Or I
don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, I guess. I wasn't either.
No? Damn, I wish one of us were there. We could have debunked this.
We should have been cleaning out the cannonball shooters.
We really need to get on that.
We should have been polishing the
big ass Q-tip. Clean it out. Oh God. So someone else who claimed to see the Jersey Devil was Joseph Bonaparte, the former king of Spain and brother of Napoleon. Bonaparte. Yeah, that guy. He saw the creature while he was hunting in the woods. And our last, I guess you could say famous person who has seen the Jersey Devil was Captain Kidd. He was a pirate captain who buried his treasure in Barnegat Bay, and legend says that he beheaded one of his men to guard his buried treasure forever. And yes, this is a different pirate captain than the one from 2 stories ago that did the exact same thing.
Is this like a pirate thing?
Maybe it's like a lore in pirate culture that's the only way to make sure your treasure is guarded. I don't know.
But who would know that? How would these captains all just go to their conference?
Their little town meeting.
So then we all agree. We all agree we should decapitate the youngin.
But can't we just give him a sleeping pill and then shoot him up with something that slows the heartbeat? No, the head has to come off.
That still sounds awful, though.
What?
Just injecting someone.
Well, not if they're asleep. They won't feel it.
Yeah, but that's why
it's like the death penalty. They get
exactly,
the shot.
but that's the argument, is that it costs so much money, so we shouldn't do the death penalty. Because
pirates had all this treasure. I'm sure they could afford it.
Just keep going.
Okay. But yeah. So I guess accounts claim that the headless pirate ghost and the Jersey Devil became friends and were seen in the evenings walking along the Atlantic in a nearby marshland. Just la 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 la. Damn, this episode is something else. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh my god, dude. Yo, no wonder Anonymous stayed anonymous.
They didn't tell me this information. Okay, the Jersey Devil is a why no thing. They're not... Shut up. Okay. So, after all these sightings, and remember the Jersey Devil was also supposedly responsible for all the tragedies and dead animals and whatnot.
Right.
So the town got to the point where multiple posses were formed to try and take down this creature. And at one point, $100,000 reward was offered for the capture of the Jersey Devil, dead or alive.
I would have just paper maché'd something.
People fucking believe anything back in those times. For real.
Just paper mache something, get some roadkill or something and just put the guts in it.
Okay, we're done with that example. So one of the posses did catch sight of the creature and chased it to the edge of a wooded area, but then it fled into the air. So for over 150 years, the Jersey Devil had been sighted on and off, literally all over the Northeast, just here and there every couple years. And what?
Nothing.
I think you just want to laugh at everything now.
It's just the Jersey Devil is just...
Are you thinking
silly.
about his pirate friend on the beach?
Yeah.
For their late night walk together?
And he just happens to be a mix of every animal out there. Mm-hmm. Just all busted.
Just the Frankenstein of cryptids. No one even knows what the heck we're talking about.
Strawberry.
If you know the strawberry sound on TikTok,
that's what we're referring to.
You understand. So, for the most part, the sightings of the Jersey Devil just, got passed along as a word of mouth story until January of 1909, not 1609.
I'm a little dyslexic.
You're a little number dyslexic for sure. So this one week in January of 1909 is when the Jersey Devil made it to the newspapers. There were at least 30 different sightings of the creature in just this one week.
And he picks up the newspaper that day and he's like, Mom, I made it in the newspaper, all
right. And then it's just like an ad over his face. Like freaking Monsters Inc.
The little scan. The little barcode is over
like,
his face.
I'm in the newspaper. You can't freaking see his face. Okay. I need to bring it back. I don't even feel like I'm telling a story right now. Okay. So yeah, there were at least 30 different sightings of the Jersey Devil in just 1 week. It was sighted flying across the Delaware River towards Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. So all of these newspaper articles kind of created like a panic among the citizens in this like entire region, and people were just freaking out. So after all these sightings, people turned to the scientific community for answers. So here are some explanations that they received. Science professors from Philadelphia and experts from the Smithsonian Institution thought the Jersey Devil to be a prehistoric creature from the Jurassic period. New York scientists thought it might be a marsupial carnivore that was also thought to be extinct. And the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia couldn't locate any record of a living or dead species that even resembled the Jersey Devil, because he is every single animal out there.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, like you said, a Frankenstein animal.
Yeah, for real. There was even a later theory that said the creature could be a sandy hill crane. This is a bird that stands 4 feet high and is about 15 pounds. It has an 80-inch wingspan and gyrates when it flies. But this explanation doesn't explain the rest of the descriptions that we've heard about it. You know, i.e. the horse-like face and its horns, as we've discussed. The horns is an interesting one, though. It's like, that is like the devil part, I think.
Yeah, like the ram and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's like, it's not like those kind of horns. It's like devil horns. I've seen pictures.
Like the little,
like
the
little
horns you
ones.
see in Halloween.
Yeah. Like the
with
little
the devil horn.
Yeah, the little ones that girls get, and they put it on with like red lipstick and a red outfit, and then they're the devil.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting. I've like heard of a lot of like cryptids being compared to just like some big crane or like a big bird. You know, anything with like large wings.
Right. But then if it is a regular bird, like why don't we see more of them?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay,
you know?
It could actually be a real thing.
And how did the cannonball not kill it?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So the Jersey Devil did sort of turn into like some kind of publicity opportunity of sorts. Everything freaking does.
Bring on the paper mache.
That's not what I meant.
Oh,
okay. The superintendent of the Philadelphia Zoo, which I didn't know they had superintendents.
Like a school?
Yeah. Maybe they don't anymore. But he offered a $10,000 reward for the creature. In 1973, it gained nationwide recognition when a feature film was made based on it entitled The Legend of Boggy Hollow, because it's like in the swampy area.
Okay, and that's like the area? That's the swamp? Or
that's
what's
like
Boggy Hollow? Should we look it up really quick?
Yeah. I mean, maybe they just made up the name.
Boggy Hollow, like kind of to fit a story?
Right, like because it's like a bog. That's like a swamp kind of thing.
Boggy Hollow. Excuse me. It says Boggy Hollow Wildlife Management Area. In Conecuh National Forest, Atlantic Coastal Plain. AL, is that Alabama, Arkansas. I do love my mom, pa. Not the way that I do love you. Children of Boggy Hollow, Elk Grove, California.
I see a creepy face. It's a doll.
What? Well, a Boggy Hollow bobwhite looks to be a bird that looks like resembles a little quail without the thing on its head. Urban Dictionary says Boggy Hollow is an Irish term for the female groin.
What? Boggy Hollow? Okay, I think that's enough info.
Okay, sorry. We can cut that out.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Well, that's a little extra fun
tried.
fact.
Yeah, we tried.
We tried. We did our best.
Sorry. If you know what a boggy hollow is, please.
Other than the anatomy term.
Anatomy.
Anatomy. Anyways, in 1996, a Berlin-based company called Cosmic Comics created a character called JD based on the Jersey Devil.
Why does Cosmic Comics sound familiar?
Are you familiar with Berlin comic book companies?
No, Cosmic Comics though sounds...
I didn't even finish my sentence this time.
Sorry, go.
So they created a character called JD based on the Jersey Devil, who protect... You found it?
Yeah, it's like Cosmic Comics and games, Cosmic Comics and toys, CosmicComicsGames.com. Seems like it's like the comic book thing that the I don't know. I don't even know what the correct term is. Like maker of it, like who hosts as Spider-Man and Iron Man and Batman comic books, I guess. X-Men. I don't know.
It's familiar.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it hosts its comics, so it makes its comics, I guess.
Okay.
I really don't know.
But yeah, they created this character based on the Jersey Devil who protects the environment and searches for truth. Because interestingly, the farther north you go in New Jersey, the more benevolent the stories of the Jersey Devil become. The creature had not been known to harm anyone or break any local ordinances in this area, and servicemen from the Vietnam War have said the Jersey Devil is an anti-war symbol.
Huh.
So, as you tried to point out earlier, this seems highly similar to the story of Mothman, because that creature was also thought to bring disaster and tragedies, but by some he was thought to be a benevolent creature who was warning people of the tragedies to come. Yeah. So, and it's another like winged creature. He was probably compared to a crane too.
So then that's probably like it probably got like it's just like a different sighting of Mothman. It could be.
Yeah,
you know?
Mothman I think is more human-like though. But yeah, same idea, same vibes.
I mean, yeah, considering how Frankenstein-ish, I guess, he seems to be.
He seems the Jersey Devil seems more animalistic, and the Mothman is kind of part moth, part human. It seems like.
So what if they're being constructed in an underground,
a government facility,
yeah, and
or an alien facility,
yeah, and maybe they're being let's see, this thing is not gonna last long, kind of mindset, and so they're just letting them go.
Yeah, it could be, because I mean, I had that story at the beginning of the episode about the mom giving birth to this thing. Obviously, that's extra crazy, and there were multiple other possible origin stories for this thing too. I mean, no one's for sure.
Right.
For sure.
They were crafting they were making goats and stuff. You know what I mean?
Dang.
Oh, well, you know this, right? You've heard of the science things.
I've heard of cloning sheep.
Yeah,
and stuff.
cloning.
Yeah.
How do they even?
I just talked about that a few days ago. That's weird.
How do they even come to the point where they're making these things flesh? Mm-hmm. That's crazy to me. Is that they're just?
I'm sure. I'm certain that technology is so much more advanced than the average civilian thinks it is. You know?
Right. Yeah. I think that, I don't know. I just think these things could be lab made.
Mm-hmm. Just also for something to distract us too.
Right.
To just focus on that. But yeah, so both Mothman and the Jersey Devil were, thought to maybe they were benevolent and good creatures. But the majority consensus for the Jersey Devil is that it is a malevolent and terrifying creature that just wants to cause harm and destruction. In 1939, it was named the official state demon. Walter Edge, one of the New Jersey's governors, was quoted saying, "When I was a boy, I was never threatened with the boogeyman. We were threatened with the Jersey Devil, morning, noon, and night." So sightings of the creature did start to dwindle over the years, but not stop completely. It has been exorcised, electrocuted, shot, incinerated, and declared officially dead. But like I said, the sightings have not stopped. So I do have a couple of short stories regarding the Jersey Devil.
Okay.
So this first person was out camping in the Pine Barrens. He was awakened in the morning by a very large noise. He said something huge and loud was screaming like a person up in the forest canopy. And then the forest suddenly came to life, and the trees were whooshing around like there was a big storm. So I guess this guy is like a literal scientist with a PhD in behavioral ecology and spent years living in remote parts of the world studying wildlife. And he says like he's seen some weird stuff, but has never seen anything like that. And it's like unexplainable.
Yeah, how do you, like, what are the chances of seeing something like that?
Yeah. Like it was like a storm was happening, but like affecting the trees, but there was no storm.
Right.
All right, so I just have one more story for you. So this person lived near the Pine Barrens and was falling asleep one night around 10 p.m. when he heard what sounded like horse hooves outside his window. He tried to explain it away because there was a horse farm down the road, but then he realized that farm was a few miles away and there's no way the sound would be that loud. So he was instantly just struck with fear. Like intense fear, and he wasn't really sure why.
Right.
So he wanted to look out the window, but the fear was just literally overtaking him. But eventually, he did peek out the window, and he saw a large creature standing on his deck. It had bat-like wings and a pronounced snout. 2 horns sprouted from its head, and it had 2 smaller claws on its upper body with horse-like lower legs. It looked at him for a moment and then flew away. That man did not sleep at all that night. And that was the story of the Jersey Devil.
Wow.
Yay.
How would you react if you saw the Jersey Devil?
I genuinely do not know, but it wouldn't be good. I don't know.
I feel like I'd probably yell.
I guess if you were there, I would absolutely wake you the heck up because you probably would be sleeping, most likely.
Right.
And maybe, I don't know, grab the cats and lock ourselves in the bathroom.
Would you call the cops? Like, what do you do in that situation?
I don't know. Maybe because it's like, it could be dark at night and like we would probably maybe think it's just some kind of like big, dangerous animal. Maybe like call animal control. And then, I don't know. Like, I have bad eyesight also. Like, I'm not going to have my glasses on if I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, but if you, even with bad eyesight, if you were like, babe, I just saw this, I'd be like, what?
What would you do?
If I were to see it instead of you, or if I saw it with you? Well, first of all, either way, I would yell.
Right.
And probably just be terrified.
Like, what can you do?
Call the cops and hide, and if we don't have a weapon, then...
Yeah, but then if you have a weapon, like, you have to open the door to go shoot it, and then what if it's like 10 million times faster than you and it just attacks you and eats you?
Yeah, then we would probably just stay inside, call the cops, and stay safe.
Lock ourselves, like, in the middle of the house like a tornado.
Yeah, if it means that it's 10 times faster than me and is a million times bigger than me.
You don't know what it's capable of.
Then, yeah, of course, yeah. And an instance of an animal, yeah. I feel like if any other living being, I would probably react differently. But in a thing like this, I would probably hide from it.
Yeah, I feel like we would definitely be like the flight part of like fight or flight in that scenario. That's terrifying.
Yeah, that is pretty.
That's so scary.
Yeah, looking at, like, I have a like pictures up of the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Like it looks kind of what's the word, like
dragonish.
Like like fiction-y kind of thing.
Like mythical mythology.
Yeah, like it's definitely a character that you can pick out that has a weird name that you can pick out to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
And like if you like roll a very bad number, you get stuck being the Jersey Devil, and you're like, damn it. You know?
Exactly.
Instead of being a goblin slayer, you're a Jersey Devil.
God, I hate when that happens. But yeah, that was the Jersey Devil. Thank you, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
I've definitely heard about this before, so I was excited to do it.
Yeah, I've heard about it too. I guess I never bothered to.
Went in depth with it.
Yeah, just because you see pictures and you're like, oh, whatever.
Right.
You know, right. I growing up, I had one of my best friends. They were very big on cryptids and everything that you like. Scary stories, spookies, cryptids, urban legends, and all that stuff. And we would like literally hang out to eat, and then it would be like nighttime, and then they would like to tell me like urban like legends, and I would like honestly like scare me. Some of them would scare me, but yeah, when they would talk about Jersey Devil and stuff like that, I'd be like,
right,
like dude, come on.
Yeah, it's
what
like,
are you talking about? It's
definitely explainable for sure.
Yeah,
but it's interesting to think about like just the weird things, like you know, like a stream boiling up,
right,
the tops of trees getting like taken
chopped
off,
yeah.
A random storm happening without a storm actually happening.
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
It's definitely fun to think about.
Well,
That's
it's a
scary.
good one. Yeah, thanks Anonymous for
Thanks
a good
Anonymous. One. All right, we're ready for all the other Anonymouses and or non-anonymouses out there.
Non-anonymous and non-anonymous and non-anonymous and anonymous.
Anybody and everybody, please send us your suggestions. Remember, we are opened up to true crime now, so we will take those suggestions too. And even if you can't think of like a story for us to do, if you have like a personal story of something spooky happening or a true crime like instance that happened in your town or something like that, we want to hear it all. Please send it in.
And you can send it in to whatsyourfavoritescarystory@gmail.com or
What's your favorite scary story on Instagram? You can DM us there. You can comment on any post and whatnot, and
you can
all
send
the good
us.
things.
You can send us your hate.
She's very big on that, even though we just talked about not spreading hate at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, you know what? If they don't have anyone else to vent to,
that's true. We can be your
you can just
vent receivers.
I probably won't read it, and you know, I probably won't respond because I wouldn't know. But if you just need to vent.
About anything, really.
Anything, you know, just
we're
send
your
it.
people.
Just send it over.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. As always, we appreciate you.
Yes, and and just one more quick update on the Conjuring situation.
There's an update?
No, it's just the same. The owner's still kind of off the walls, and
right.
The guy Brian, actually our tour guide, he had a segment on the news that that exposed these things. So now it actually is concrete, you know, and out there. So if you're interested, maybe if you Google the Conjuring House Brian drama or Conjuring House drama, it should come up. And I believe I can't remember, Rhode Island news or New Jersey news or something like that.
Yeah, it's in Rhode Island for sure. So, I'm not sure the news channel.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but you can find it and do your own research, as you should. But
yes, always do your own research.
Yeah, so that was it. Just be kind.
Yeah, be kind. But if you need to spread hate, we'll listen to it. Hopefully not about us, but you know what? Everyone's got their opinion, and we get it.
Yeah.
But we hope you guys like listening to these episodes. They're pretty fun to do. We always learn a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a good time. But
awesome.
Yeah, until next week, everyone.
Stay spooky.